Hello po sa ating lahat. Good day po, ma'am. Good day, classmates. Kami po ang Group 8 at ang na-assign po sa aming topic ay ang fruit growth. Rachel, do the honors.
What is fruit? The word fruit derives from the Latin word fructus, meaning to enjoy, produce. A fruit is the product of determinate growth from an angiospermous flower or inflorescence, and also define the edible product of plant or trees consisting of the seed and its envelope. And in a botanical sense, a fruit is the fleshy or dry ripened ovary of a flowering plant, enclosing the seed or seeds. Apricots, banana, and grapes, as well as bean pods, corn, grains, tomatoes, cucumber, and almonds are technically fruits. What is growth? Defines the word growth in plant as an irreversible increase in volume, a stage or condition in increasing, developing, or maturing the tree reach its full growth. A natural process of increasing in size or developing growth of a crystal. A gradual increase, the growth of wealth, something as a covering of plants produced by growing. And also increase by thinning out some of the flowers and young fruits. As fruit grow, proportion of cell wall, carbohydrate, organic acid lipid, phospholipid, and volatile compound change dramatically. And fruit can increase in mass or volume by 100-fold or more from fertilization to maturity. Which fruit grows the fastest? Cherry tomato. Bear fruit in just 55 to 65 days or 3 months. So, ang kamatis ay isa sa mga mabilis na mag-grow, mabilis mamunga, at for how many months lang? 1 to 3 months. Pwede ka na mag-harvest. At marami ng fruits ang tomato. So, fruit that take the longest to fruit, pear trees, 4 to 6 years. Sweet cherry trees, 4 to 7 years. So, pag trees, alam naman natin talaga na how many years bago ito mamunga at mag-grow. Needed nutrients to grow fruits. Nitrogen makes for healthy green growth and rapid vegetative growth. And nitrogen is an essential nutrient for the production of amino acids, proteins, nucleic acid, etc. And stone fruit trees require an adequate annual supply for proper growth and productivity. Nitrogen is primarily absorbed through fine root as either ammonium or nitrite. So, ang nitrogen, ang dahilan ng paglaki ng dahon at pagkakaroon ng berdeng kulay sa halaman. Phosphorus promotes root growth, promotes flowering and fruit set, and disease resistance. So, phosphorus is important nutrient in all plants as it is required for membranes, energy molecule, and nucleic acids. And aids root development. flowering, and fruit production. This makes it especially important for flowers. Fruit trees. It's also the most important ingredient in bloom booster formulas which encourage flowering plants to produce blossom. Potassium promotes overall vigor, fruit ripening, and disease resistance. Potassium helps to prevent calcium from being excreted in the urine and may also help to prevent calcium from being released from bone into blood. Ang potassium ay nakatutulong sa pagiging strong ng stem at pagtulong sa pagpapabilis ng growth ng halaman. At ito ang dahilan ng magandang pamumulaklak at lumalaban sa pagkakaroon ng disease ng isang halaman.
Factors affecting of fruit growth: sunshine, soil, fertilizer, water. Sunshine. Exposure to sunlight is vital to the growth of fruit trees, with most species requiring 6 to 8 hours of full sun every day. Nakakaapekto ito sa halaman dahil if the fruit is in the path of intense light, ay maaaring magdulot ng mabilis na pagkahinog o mabilis na pagkabulok ng mga bunga nito. Dahil sa direct sunlight o labis na sinag ng araw. Next, soil. Proper soil is imperative to the survival and growth of fruit trees. If planted in soggy, poorly drained soil, the roots of fruit trees will rot, obstructing growth and development. Though pear, palm, and apple trees can withstand moister soil than other fruit tree varieties. Loam soil are ideal as they drain quickly. Also avoid planting fruit trees in dense clay soil, which prevents roots from properly taking hold. Dito naman, nakakaapekto ito kung ang iyong lupa ay walang gaanong mga nutrients. At dapat alam mo ang gagamitin mong types ng lupa upang ang iyong itatanim ay hindi mamatay o mabansot. At kung ikaw ay magtatanim, dapat sa mataas na kalidad ng lupa upang mayroon itong maraming sustansya o nutrients at huwag sa mas mababang kalidad ng lupa dahil wala itong sapat na sustansya o nutrients. Next, fertilizer. Fruits trees have different fertilizations needs and most trees applying a typical 4-1-1 fertilizer with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash to fruit trees results in heavy foliage growth but few flowers and fruits. Dito naman, ang sobra sa paglalagay ng fertilizer ay nakakasama sa mga halaman dahil ang labis na paglalagay ay maaaring masunog o matuyo ang ugat nito. Sa huli, ay pwede din silang mamatay. At ang labis na paglalagay ng pataba ay humahantong ito sa pagpapalabas ng greenhouse gases at eutrophication, kung ito naman ay malapit sa mga tubig dahil nagkukos ito ng pagdami ng lumot o algae. Next, water. Plants are about 80 to 95% water need water for multiple reasons as they grow, including for photosynthesis, for cooling and transport minerals and nutrients from the soil and into the plant. Ito naman, nakakaapekto ito dahil kung ang iyong halaman ay may labis na tubig, ang mga ugat nito ay maaaring mabulok at ang halaman ay hindi makakakuha ng sapat na oxygen sa lupa. At kung ang iyong halaman naman ay walang sapat na tubig, ang mga sustansya na kailangan ng iyong halaman ay hindi maaaring dumaan sa halaman. Kaya naman, ang isang halaman ay hindi maaaring tumubo kung wala itong malusog na ugat. Kaya dapat, ang tamang balanse ng tubig ay susi sa pagpapalaki ng iyong halaman. Gaya ng tao, kung nasobran sa dilig ay nakakasama. Ang susunod sa akin ay si Romuel.
Chapter Plant Growth and Development. In that, we are studying topic factors affecting growth of the plant. Water, nutrients, oxygen, temperature, hormones. These are the factors that affect or stop or cheese plant growth, which we'll be studying today. Factors affecting growth are: first is nutrient. Imagine if your mom doesn't give you food for a week or for a day, what will happen? You will not get energy, you'll start crying or howling. Similar is with plants. If plants get nutrients in sufficient quantity, they'll grow fast. But if plants don't get nutrients in sufficient quantity, their growth will cease or stop. So a sustained supply of nutrients is necessary for plants. This nutrients has to be vitamins, minerals, soil, all the sources. Next is oxygen. If you don't breathe, what will happen? You will turn blue and die eventually. Similarly, plants need oxygen for respiration. Remember photosynthesis? Oxygen plays very important role in photosynthesis. Next is water. Our body is made up of 90% water. So plants won't need water? Yes, they will. Plants need water for all their metabolic activities, for all the cellular reactions, whether it is catabolism or catabolism. Temperature. Now, the ideal temperature to grow a plant would be 25 to 30 degrees Celsius if you are in a state like Maharashtra. But if you go to Kashmir, it could be below 4 to 25 degrees Celsius, depending upon the place. Light. Now, light does not affect directly the plant growth, but the intensity of light, the quality of light, the place where the plant is kept, and the duration of light affects plant growth. For example, if you keep a potted plant in your house in dark, it will grow slowly. It will take its own sweet time to grow. Whereas a plant in the field will grow rapidly because sun is directly present over there. The last one, growth hormones. Now, growth hormones are present inside your body also. Similarly, plants also have growth hormones, and these plant hormones can either decrease plant growth or increase plant growth. For example, cytokinin, a type of a hormone, initiates cell division, whereas gibberellin causes cell elongation. There is a hormone called as abscisic acid, which causes falling of leaves or senescence in plants. factors affecting plant growth. When I say factors affecting, what do it mean? These parameters or these factors are important to plant growth, and if any one of them misses, the plant will not grow or the plant growth will be cheesed. And these factors are nutrients. Now, plant for the growth get all the essential nutrients from soil, whether it is minerals, nitrogen, sulfur, all of them. A sustained supply of essential nutrients is necessary for plant growth. Depending upon the plant, the nutrients may change, but all plants need nutrients for their growth. Next is oxygen or O2. You all need oxygen to respire. Similarly, plants respire with help of oxygen or photosynthesis. Yes, the process to prepare plant food is dependent on oxygen, children. Water or H2O. It is necessary for all the metabolic activities of plant, whether it is catabolism, anabolism, or any activity in plant is dependent on water or H2O. Your body needs water. 95% of human body is made up of water. So plants won't need water? Yes, they do need water. The next factors which affect plant growth are temperature. Growth occurs in the range of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius into temperate climate. But if you grow in cold weathers, the temperature can lie between 4 to 45 degrees Celsius, depending upon the plant. For example, in Rajasthan, the temperature would touch above 30 degrees Celsius, and cactus is fine with that temperature. But when you grow an apple in Kashmir, it cannot survive in 35 degrees Celsius temperature, it needs lower temperature. Light. Now, when you keep a plant in light, it grows faster. An experiment which you have studied in lower classes. So, light is essential for further growth of the plant. And plant growth is influenced by intensity, that is amount of light that you put, and the duration of light that you keep the plant in. Lastly, growth hormones or plant hormones. Growth hormones are enzymes that influence plant activity. Phytohormones. Why they are called phytohormones? Phyto means plant, and hormones are enzymes that are produced in plants. Phytohormones like cytokinin help in cell division. So students, in this part of the chapter, we have studied the various factors that affect.
Guys, dako naman tayo sa fruit growth and development. Sa nakikita nyong larawan, ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod na stage kung paano maging fruit ang isang fruit. Hindi naman kasi pwedeng basta-basta na kapag fruit na lang agad bubungad sa atin, di ba? Hindi ganun. Halin tulad na lang natin sa ating mga tao na nung pinanganak tayo, hindi naman tayo pinanganak na malaki agad, di ba? May stages din yan, parang pacing kumbaga. Yung una is cell division. Depends on successful pollination, fertilization, and on the number of developing seeds and is caused by cell division and cell expansion. The development of fruit is marked by first increase in size due to cell division activity, leading to an increased cell number. So, sa cell division guys, sa stage na ito, ang tinatawag nila ay yung pamumulaklak na stage ng isang halaman. Ihalin tulad na lang natin ulit sa ating mga tao. Siyempre, nung una, fetus pa lang naman tayo, di ba? Hindi naman tayo agad lumaki. Kaya, Sa halaman naman, ito ay yung pamumulaklak na stage.
Soil expansion requires the synthesis new cell wall material and controlled loosening of the wall to allow it strength and increase in our cell wall. Associated proteins of the so-called expansion family are key components in the process. So, ang cell expansion ay pagpapalawak ng cell, and the word itself, expansion, na nangailangan ng synthesis ng bagong material sa cell wall, at ito ang kumukontrol sa paglusing ng wall upang payagan itong mag-inat para ang wall ay tumaas ang lugar. Ang mga protina na nauugnay sa cell wall ay tinatawag na expansin family, ay ang mga pangunahing bahagi sa prosesong ito na nakatutulong sa ating halaman para mag-produce ng kanyang mga bunga. Next is maturation. Maturation is indicative of the fruit being ready for harvest. And at this point, the eligible part of the fruit or vegetable is fully developed in size. Although it may not be ready for immediate consumption. Ripening follow or overlaps maturation, rendering the produce edible as indicated taste. Ano nga ba ang maturation? Ito ay nagdidikta kung kailan na pwedeng anihin ang prutas o gulay. So, ang tanong, paano natin malalaman kung pwede na itong anihin? Una dyan ay ang kulay. Madalas nating mapansin sa mga bunga ng ating mga puno o gulay na ang pagbabago ng kulay ng kanilang bunga. Halimbawa nito ay ang saging, pag hindi pa ito hinog ay kulay green. Kapag kulay yellow naman na, ito naman na ay hinog. At halimbawa naman sa gulay ay ang kalabasa. Pag ito ay pwede ng anihin ay meron itong kulay orange na makikita. Basta tandaan natin, depende pa rin ito sa variety ng isang puno o halaman. Next is the smell or aroma. Madalas ito nating napapansin sa mga jackfruit family, gaya ng langka. Kapag ito ay nangangamoy na, pwede na itong anihin dahil ito ay hinog na. Ganun din sa durian. Susunod ay ang weight. Kapag mabigat na ang ating bunga or halaman, mapapansin din natin na pwede na itong anihin, kagaya ng mga pakwan. Susunod ay ang shape. Mapapansin din natin na ang bunga ng ating mga halaman ay nag-iiba na ng shape, kagaya ng ampalaya. Kapag bata ang ampalaya ay para siyang letter J, at kapag malaki na ito at pwede nang anihin ay parang nagiging straight na siya konti. Susunod ay ang size. Siyempre kapag malaki ng bunga ng halaman ay aanihin na natin ito. Pero tandaan, meron ding maliit pa lang ay pwede nang kuhanin dahil hindi wasto ang pagpapalaki sa halaman, kaya't naapektuhan ang paglaki ng isang bunga ng isang halaman. Malalaman din natin na pwede na ang bunga ng isang halaman by texture. Malalaman din natin sa pagpitik ng isang halaman kung pwede na ito. Example nito ay ang buko, melon, at iba pang mga halaman.
Okay guys, dito naman tayo sa ripening stage. At the end of fruit development, when seeds are mature and ready for dispersal, tomato fruits undergo ripening, a complex developmental program involving the coordinated regulation of numerous physiological and biochemical changes that determine flavor, color, texture, and aroma. So guys, sa ripening stage naman ay dito na nahihinog yung bunga ng isang halaman. Sa stage na to, masarap yung bunga kasi dito magpapalit yung flavor, yung color at yung texture at yung aroma ng isang bunga. Kumbaga sa tao, ito yung pinaka-peak season o pinaka-glow up kumbaga ba niya. Parang ganun. Next is yung senescence. The process of growing old. In biology, senescence is a process by which a cell ages and permanently stops dividing but does not die. Okay, dito naman tayo sa stage ng senescence. Sa stage naman na to, ay yung pagkabulok ng isang bunga. Kumbaga ma-overripe, parang ganun. Kung sa ripening yung pinaka-glow up, yung sa stage na yon, dito naman sa senescence ay yung pag-glow down ng isang halaman, ay ng isang bunga. Ihalin tulad na lang natin sa tao ulit na, di ba kapag tumanda na, kukuribot-bot na yung mga balat natin. Kaya parang ganun din sa fruit na kapag matanda na, kukuribot-bot na rin. Parang ganun. Next, si Hidsil na ipapaliwanag naman yung mga nakalap naming mga articles.
Welcome and hello everyone, myself Vaibhavi Uttarwar. So today we are going to learn about the topic that is the maturity indices of the fruits and vegetables. So there are various maturity indices according to type of fruits and vegetables and what these are and what are their types and everything we are going to see in our video. So be connected up to end. So what is meant by maturation? First of all, it is very important thing that you know about the maturation process. So it is the step of developing leading the attainment of physiological horticultural maturity. So the step when the fruit or vegetable it attains the physiological and horticultural maturity. What is meant by it? It means when it is a fully developed and it attaining the physiological maturity. Physiological maturity means whatever the size development, so that is completely grown. So that is nothing but it is a completely mature. It is developed one but not ripened, only developed one. Okay. So if there is a flower of mango, so when it going to be in the size of the mango fruit, that is nothing but the fully developed and matured fruit. So we are only assessing here the maturation process or maturity of fruits. So what are the different principles of harvest maturity? Harvested commodity should have its peak acceptable quality when it reaches the consumer. Produce should develop an acceptable flavor or appearance. Produce should have optimum size and shape required by the market, and it should not be toxic or unacceptable. Harvest maturity should have adequate shelf life. So like that there are some principles of maturity. So here in this image you can see the flower, a simple flower is going to be developed into a big red tomato. So whatever the maturation process, it is nothing but from cell division, cell enlargement, cell expansion, and finally there is a fully developed fruit is present. So up to middle portion, that is a green tomato, that is nothing but matured tomato is developed one, or it is a done. Okay, after that when it changes to red color, it changes its red color and there is a change in the taste of the fruit or vegetable, that is nothing but the ripening process. So one by one we will see what are the different processes for assessing maturity. So basically what is meant by physiological maturity? So the attainment of fully development of the stage just prior to ripening or ripening in non-climatic fruits. Then horticultural or commercial maturity is nothing but the stage at which growth and development is optimum for specific use. That is meant by stage is acceptable for consumer or market oriented. So in case of physiological maturity, the fruit is fully developed but it is unusable. We cannot use it for anything or any process. But in case of horticulture or commercial maturity, the fruit is developed and it is useful for the specific purpose. So in case of mango, as in my previous lecture I have told about already commercial maturity. So when mango, they are at a green stage. Okay. So when they are fully developed and at green stage, so that is nothing but their commercial maturity. At that point we can use them as a raw material for pickles. But when we want to eat a fully ripened mango fruit, so that is nothing but the final ripening process. But what is commercial maturity? That is means attainment of a fully developed green color. So horticultural maturity again may be classified into three different groups, that is physiologically immature, then firm and mature, and then harvest and ripe. So like that they are again classified. So here we can see what is meant by physiological immature. So the vegetables such as cucumber, peas, beans, carrots, beetroot, baby corn, okra are harvested when they are tender, crisp and fiber free. So that means when we are going to use them, still they are immature but they are usable. Okay. Next there is a firm and mature. So the fruits and vegetables which are attaining characteristic size, shape and maturity, they are harvested. Example apple, apricot, then the banana, guava, mango, papaya, tomatoes. So these are firm and mature but not ripened. At that stage also we can harvest them and we can artificially ripen them. Then harvest at ripe. So when that is harvest at ripe, that is nothing but in case of non-climatic fruit, because they do not ripen after harvesting. So in such a non-climatic fruit, maturity is referred to as a full ripening. Example citrus, grapes, pineapple, cherries, etc. So they should be fully developed and fully ripened on the plant, and after that they are free for harvesting. So that is nothing but the third type, that is harvest at ripe. Means before harvesting they are properly ripened one. So how to judge the maturity in fruits crop?
This video talk about the measurements or measurements that can be used to determine whether a particular example of the commodity is mature.
Articles: Tomato fruit development and metabolism. Tomato Solanum lycopersum belongs to Solanaceae family, and it's the second most important fruit or vegetable guage along potato, Solanum tuberosum. And tomatoes contain a lot of health-promoting compounds including vitamins, carotenoids, and phenolic compounds. Tomato is a climate fruit and dramatic metabolic change take place during its fruit development. We start by describing the genetic and hormonal control of fruit development and ripening, after which we document the primary metabolism of tomato fruit with special focus on sugar, organic acid, and amino acid and metabolism. Ito ay nalinang or cultivated para sa mga sariwang prutas at nagprosesong mga products. And tomatoes are major dietary source of the antioxidant lycopene, which has been linked to many health benefits including reduced risk of heart disease, kagaya ng sakit sa puso, and cancer. They are also great source of vitamins C, potassium, and potassium folate, and vitamin K. And tomatoes are a rich source of lycopene, and ito ang powerful antioxidants of protecting eyes. Karagdagan sa kalagahan nito sa ekonomiya at nutrisyon. At ang kamatis ay naging modelo ito para sa pag-aaral ng pagbuo ng matabang prutas. Sa pagsusuri ito, nagbibigay kami ng pangkalatang idea ng aming kasalukuyang pag-unawa sa metabolism ng kamatis. Ang mga links sa pagitan ng pangunahing at pangalawang metabolic pathway ay higit na binibigyan din ng kalagaan ng mga pigment o flavonoids at volatiles para sa kalidad ng prutas ng kamatis. Dahil sensitibo ito, ang mga halaman ng kamatis sa ilang abiotic na stress, maikli naming binubuod ang epekto ng masamang kondisyon sa kapaligiran sa metabolism at kalidad ng prutas. How fruit ripening brings out the flavor of fruit. During ripening, there is an increase in the breakdown of starch inside the fruit and corresponding increase in the amount of simple sugars which taste sweet, such as sucrose, glucose, and fructose. Because of biological changes o pag-iba ng mga flavor nito at kulay at texture and aroma, dahil dito change the up or down regulation of numerous genes in various metabolic pathways. Green bananas do not taste sweet at all. Alangan naman kakainin yung green na banana. Dapat kailangan mahinog, and the reaper they get the sweeter taste. Dapat mahinog dapat talaga. Kasi mas masarap at mas matamis ang lasa nito. There is also decreased acidity as the fruit ripens and decrease in better plant substances such as alkaloids. For example, like banana and mangoes, they are all ripening, but ripening of fruits beneficial change because they release a gas 18, formerly ethylene. This helps softening fruits by the breakdown of cell. How do fruits ripen? Fruit ripening brings out the flavor of fruit, particularly a fruit's sweetness. During the ripening, there is an increase in the breakdown of starch inside the fruit and a corresponding increase in the amount of simple sugars which taste sweet, such as sucrose, glucose, and fructose. Green bananas do not taste sweet at all, and the riper they get, the sweeter they taste. There is also decrease in acidity as the fruit ripens and a decrease of bitter plant substances such as alkaloids. Sa panahon ng pagkainom, mayroong pagtaas sa pagkasira ng starch sa loob ng prutas at isang katumbas na pagtaas sa dami ng simpleng asukal na matamis ang lasa. Ang berdeng saging ay hindi matamis ang lasa at kapag hinog naman na ito ay sobrang tamis ang lasa. Meron ding mababa ang kasiman habang ang prutas ay hinog at pagbaba sa mapait na sangkap ng halaman tulad ng alkaloids.
Ibang kamatis mga kagulay ay maraming bulaklak pero kakaunti ang bunga dahil nalalaglag na ito bago pa man maging bunga. May mga dahilan kung bakit nalalaglag ang mga ito kagulay. Una na po dyan ay ang kakulangan sa calcium. Ito po ang kadalasang problema, ang kakulangan sa calcium mga kagulay. Ang calcium po kasi ang responsable sa pagpapatibay ng kapit ng mga bulaklak. Para masolusyonan po natin yan ay pwede po tayong gumawa ng kalpos. Ang kalpos po ay gawa sa balat ng itlog at suka. Meron po dito sa channel natin mga kagulay kung paano gumawa ng kalpos. Madali lang naman po ang paggawa nito. Ang isa pa pong dahilan kung bakit nalalaglag ang mga bulaklak ay ang overwatering o sobrang pagdidilig o kaya ay labis na pagulan mga kagulay. Madalas ito nangyayari kapag ang lupang gamit natin ay hindi well draining. Para maiwasan po natin yan ay magdilig lang tayo kapag ang ibabaw na parte ng ating lupa ay malapit ng matuyo. Kapag basa pa naman ang lupa ay ipagpaliban na muna ang pagdidilig. After ng pamumulaklak ay kasunod na ang pamumunga ng tanim nating kamatis. Tandaan mga kagulay, kapag namumunga na ang ating tanim na kamatis ay dumodoble na ang pangangailangan nito ng tubig. Huwag po natin nahayaang matuyuan ng tubig ang ating lupa. Para naman po masuportahan natin ang paglaki ng mga bunga at maparami lalo natin ang mga bulaklak, ay magsasagawa po tayo ng pruning at pagbibigay ng mga fertilizer na makakatulong sa pagkakaroon ng maraming bulaklak at bunga. Ngayon naman po ay magsasagawa tayo ng pruning mga kagulay. Tanggalin lang po natin ang mga dahon at sanga sa ibabang parte. Kaya po natin tinatanggal yan mga kagulay dahil nangangailangan din ang mga yan ng nutrients sa kanilang paglaki. Kung tatanggalin po natin ito, yung mga nutrients na napupunta dito ay direkta na pong mapupunta sa taas na parte kung saan nandoon ang mga bulaklak at bunga. Malaki po ang maitutulong nito sa pagpaparami ng mga bulaklak at bunga mga kagulay. Maglagay na rin po tayo ng suporta sa puno ng ating kamatis dahil kapag lumalaki at dumadami na ang bunga ay bumibigat na ito. Kapag hindi po natin nilagyan ay maaaring maging sanhi ito ng pagkatumba o kaya ay pagkaputol ng mga sanga. After po natin mag-pruning ay magbibigay naman tayo ng mga fertilizer. Unahin na po natin ang pag-spray ng fermented fruit juice. Spray lang po natin ito sa lahat ng dahon. Makakatulong ito sa pagpaparami ng mga bulaklak at bunga. Sa hapon po ito ini-spray mga kagulay kapag hindi na direktang nasisinaga ng araw ang tanim natin. Spray natin ito 2 hanggang 3 beses sa isang linggo para makasiguro tayo na magkaroon ito ng maraming bulaklak at bunga. After natin mag-spray ng fermented fruit juice, ay maglagay naman tayo ng compost dahil ang compost ay complete fertilizer para sa ating mga tanim dahil meron itong mga primary at secondary nutrients na kailangan ng mga halaman. Kung meron po kayong vermicast o kaya ay dried cow manure ay pwede rin po natin itong gamitin. Ito po kasi ang magsisilbing pagkain ng tanim nating kamatis na tutulong para magkaroon ng maraming bulaklak at bunga. Maglagay po tayo nito mga agulay every 10 days para sa tuloy-tuloy na pamumulaklak at pamumunga ng tanim nating kamatis. After po natin maglagay ng compost ay diligan ito ng mabuti para po ma-absorb agad ito ng mga ugat. Ito na po ang tanim kong kamatis mga kagulay after 15 days nung nagsagawa ako ng pruning at pagbibigay ng mga fertilizer. Nagsagawa po ulit ako ng pruning dyan mga kagulay. Tinanggal ko lang po yung mga dahon malapit sa unang cluster ng bunga para mapabilis ang paglaki at paghinog ng mga ito. Tuloy-tuloy lang po mga kagulay ang pagbibigay natin ng mga fertilizer para tuloy-tuloy rin po ang pamumunga ng tanim nating kamatis. Di magtatagal ay mahihinog na ang mga bunga ng tanim nating kamatis at makakapag-harvest na tayo ng sariwa at malinis na kamatis. Ang kagandahan po kagulay kapag hinog sa puno ang kamatis ay makatas ito at medyo manamis-namis. Sana po ay may natutunan kayo sa pagtatanim ng kamatis mga kagulay. Huwag niyo po sanang kalimutang i-like ang ating video. Maraming salamat po sa panonood mga kagulay. See you po sa next video natin.
Makikita natin sa video na napanood natin kung paano ang tamang pag-aalaga ng halaman na kamatis. simula sa pamumulaklak hanggang sa pagbunga at pag-harvest ng mga ito. Sinabi din dito na nakasasama ang sobrang pagdidilig. Lahat ng sobra ay masama. Dapat sa anumang bagay ay balanse lang, hindi kulang o sobra. If who will get the highest points in our post test will receive a 50 pesos load. Good luck, guys! So, for the post test, for number 1, what is the 3 factors affecting fruit growth? For number 2, what is the 5 stages of fruit growth? For number 3, what is the Latin word of fruits? For number 4, give one fruit that grow the fastest. 5. Give the 2 fruit grows longest. 6. What is word growth? 7. What is senescence? 8. What is cell division? 9. What is maturation? 10. What are the 3 nutrients?
Tayo sa fruit growth. The seeds developing inside the ovary wall, which produce hormones at first, they produce cytokinins, which are hormones that are exported from the seeds and cause cell division in the ovary wall. This, of course, adds some thickness to the wall of the growing fruit. Next, the developing seeds produce gibberellic acid, which is exported to the wall of the ovary and causes rapid expansion of each of the cells. The combination of more cells and expanding cells leads to tremendous increase in the size of the ovary. As this is happening, the mother plant is producing another hormone, abscisic acid, which causes the embryo in the developing seeds to become dormant. This is adaptive because it prevents the seeds from sprouting inside the warm, moist fruit. Ito nga po pala ang summary ng aming report. Fruit growth, sabi ko nga kanina na hindi basta-basta na bunga agad yung bubungad sa atin, kundi kailangan ng proseso o pacing, kumbaga mula sa bulaklak hanggang sa maging ito ay kuribot-bot, parang ganun. Mula sa kailangan ng proseso mula sa cell division, cell expansion, maturation, ripening at senescence. At sa aming ding report na talakay ang mga dapat gawin para maging successful ang pamumunga ng isang halaman. Sa tamang tirik ng araw, mula sa tamang paglagay ng fertilizer o pataba, lupa, at syempre yung hanggang sa pagdidilig. Huwag lang susobra dahil lahat ng sobra nakakasama. Huwag din magkukulang. Dapat sakto lang, sapat lang. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Leader, Romuel Aris. Members, Rachel Aniwayan, Joycel Galvez, Hearts John Ray Ramos, Edsel Pablo. So that's all for our report. We are the Group 8. Thank you for listening and cooperating to us. Have a nice day. God bless and keep safe always.